Hi Virgo, welcome to your week ahead reading for May 3rd through May 9th. Everything you need to know about this reading is in the description box below. This is intended to be an all-encompassing reading. Whatever comes out is read. It's not only romance focused or only work, moon, only work or money focused or anything like that. It could be all three, or it could just be if that's the way it falls out, but it's not intended for that. If this is about a person, this could be their moon, rising, or Venus sign, as well as your moon, rising, or Venus sign also. Okay. All right. Virgo, week ahead. Okay, so we have that moon card. That's going to be interesting if that plays a part here for Virgo. That could have been Pisces or Cancerian, by the way. All right, so we've got the Emperor. Okay. Emperor, that could be Aries. Seven of Swords, Queen of Cups, that could be Cancerian, Six of Pentacles, Ace of Cups, oh gosh, Tower, that could be Scorpio, Queen of Pentacles, that could be Capricorn. All right, let's see here. Okay, Virgo, what do we got here? You're working quite a bit. Work, work, work. What's this Queen of Cups about for Virgo? Huh. Okay, so Ace of Cups, we got Ace of Cups twice. What is that about? Is that about your newfound security in yourself? Or is it about a relationship? What's this Six of Pentacles? Six of Pentacles. You're busy, but that's the Devil. That could be Capricorn. What's this Ace of Cups? Seven of Swords twice. Wow. So Ace of Cups twice, Seven of Swords twice. All right, so for the Virgos that I'm reading for, it feels like you're trying to withdraw and pull back out of self-efficacy and self-love and self-care. But what are you pulling back from? What's this Tower about for Virgo? Two of Wands. All right. It feels like you just got liberated from something. I don't know if it's work. I don't know if it's, it feels like a love relationship. It feels like you're content and you're like, okay, at work, you're busy at work. You're very busy. So work is still steady. There's not much flow, like contentment. It's pretty chaotic, or it's pretty, not chaotic, just there's a lot. It's just a lot, always a lot. So thank you if you're a first responder or essential worker. It kind of feels like that. It feels like there's a constant need for it's like your work is never finished. So there's that. And this feels like you might be, there was something that happened that you're actually kind of thinking like, you know what, this could be the out that I want, or this could be the break that I need to justify giving myself self-care. Not that you need to justify it, but perhaps you're so busy that you don't think to draw a line in the sand in that other area of your life that is kind of really drawing from you. Or this is in fact about a romantic situation and you're like, you know what, I'm gonna stay gone. Like we just, and this is just the better for it. We just broke up or whatnot, or had a fight. And I'm actually gonna kind of segue this into really retreating from this person because I'm tired of this codependency. This could be a codependent situation. It could be just feeling like I'm giving everywhere. I'm giving at work. I'm giving to the relationship. I'm even financially overextending myself, and it needs to stop. I need to stop the hemorrhaging and focus on myself and create more boundaries and be better at caring about myself. What's this Seven of Swords for Virgo? Knight of Pentacles. It could be Taurus. Okay. So you've already done it then. What's this Queen of Pentacles for Virgo? What's this Queen of Pentacles? Okay, so you've already done it. You've already let go. This is you staying let go. And it looks like someone might be coming forward to ask for your forgiveness, but I don't think you're either ready or interested. You're still wanting to stay gone. This is a week of work being chaotic and busy, and you kind of leaning into that so that it can help you work and process this. It feels like romantic issue. It could be a family issue, but it feels like you and your person are distanced and you're actually wanting to stay distanced, and they might be wanting to know what's going on, and you're not wanting to talk to them yet. You're still wanting to stay gone. You're still wanting to stay retreated and disappeared because you don't want to go back to the dynamic that it was. And I think it's because you don't see anybody willing to change but you. So there's that. Good for you for wanting to focus on yourself. This person is not going to want to let it lie the way it is. Why? Because you took care of them. So of course they're going to want to come knocking and be like, okay, are you still mad? Has there been enough time gone by? And you're over that dynamic. Good for you, looking to the future. So, but right now work is keep taking pretty much all of your available time. And I think that's why you're just really content to let things to basically let you stay disappeared from this situationship, because it was a lot and you had a lot at work and you have a lot. It's too much. It's too much for you. Just because you can give a lot doesn't mean you should. And oftentimes the people that give so much really need that much back because it's a lot. And you really want a partner that gets that about you and resources that and supports that and is kind. It doesn't just add to the pile. You take better care of yourself than this past dynamic did. And I think you're wanting to stay in that space because you're like, you know what? Even though I'm working myself to the limit, I still feel better than when I had this situation. I had to come home and hit the ground running to deal with this. And I'd rather just give my all at work and then be able to, come home and deal with that and have everything reliable, predictable, or at least under my control, or at least feel like I can handle what's coming my way at home, rather than, oh God, what now? And just because I'm capable of doing it doesn't mean I'm not tired or don't want to, It also, too, though, consider that part of why you might feel secretly relieved that this isn't working is because there were boundary issues here that you didn't feel like you could say. This is not victim blaming. I'm saying part of the dynamic is you were with somebody, or the family member, the romantic person, whoever it was, didn't respect boundaries. So it wasn't that you didn't put them up. It was that it was just easier to capitulate because it was too much drama if you tried to carve out time for yourself or to, have those boundaries. So you don't need to feel guilty and feel like, okay, well, I should have been. No, don't should on yourself. You're not in it anymore. You don't have to should on yourself. You can stay gone. And if you have to still deal with the person because of kids, you can compartmentalize it as best you can, but you don't owe anybody but yourself anything. This is a reprieve, and it's shaking out to be a reprieve, whoever this person is, family or romantic person. You're finding that you quite like your new solitude and solace. It's very settling, it's very calming, and that you're feeling like yourself again. You're feeling back on top again. So this is you needing to stay there. I feel like you think that you might should, or like the clock is ticking until you have to go back, and you don't. You don't. You get to stay in a space where you get to be a priority, top priority. For work, it feels like you don't mind it. You're busy as all get out, but you're okay with it. You feel actually quite proud of the effort that you can give and do, and that you can be relied upon and whatnot. So work is very gratifying for you also. It's a lot, but it's work that you're happy to do, especially now that that's all you're able to do. You don't have to come home and work also. It's applied effort where you want it, not something that's going to exhaust you and there's no end in sight, like this dynamic would. House for Virgo. El fin. 10 of Swords. Yeah, no, even still, you're not wanting to fix it, which good for you. I'm not advocating that. But I think this might be where you're starting to settle into this new normal of not being with this person and starting to parse out the dynamic and figure things out. And that's what's showing here, is that you're actually choosing to stay gone and stay disappeared. And I think the reason why this is coming up is because you know how when you're with somebody, you start to get used to their patterns and your pattern. And I had a friend that was telling me, we used to, about every 6 weeks, I knew it was going to happen. We get into another fight and da, 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 da. This feels like that. This feels like after a certain amount of time, someone starts sniffing around again. And that was your dynamic before. But this time you're wanting to just not repeat it. You've had enough. It's done. And yet this person, I think, doesn't realize that. And so they're thinking that the old dynamic still applies and they're coming around again. And you're just like, nope. And this is you being very careful and strategic about guarding your time from that person, romantic or otherwise, because you would literally give till it hurt. Like you had a hard time saying no to this person. And there's the idea that sometimes we give so much and we think that eventually there'll be an end in sight and that someone will also acknowledge and appreciate the effort. And that's not the case here. You're kind of expected to be a never-ending well, like a always being able to fill other people up type of person. And that's just not realistic. It's not that you couldn't, it's that it shouldn't be expected of you. It shouldn't be expected of anybody. That's why there's shifts at work, because someone can't be on 24/7 all the time. Same thing here. Just because you're available 24/7 to a love interest or family member doesn't mean that you can be used 24/7 or even expected of 24/7. Okay. What else for Virgo? So what I'm saying basically is I want you to stay, what's showing here, but also I vote for you staying where you are and continuing to let yourself off the hook, continuing to distance yourself from any obligation or guilt or anything like that. And this is that learning curve that's happening. This is you adjusting to that. This is you mentally processing, throwing yourself into work while you process this ending and deciding to stay ended. I don't think you were expecting that. I think that you were done until this person came back, and then maybe you felt like, oh, what now? Okay, well, maybe. And this is you going, no, the more distance I get from this, the more I feel settled into my position of being no. And no is a complete sentence. That's for Virgo. Discover your courage. That's why I'm sitting here going, it's okay. You say no and you mean it, and it's okay. And you're just, because this question of courage came up. This is you being fine on your own, but only because maybe you feel like they're not bothering you. So you get to take these moments. And this is you actually staying gone. And here they come around sniffing, whoever this person is. It could be family, romantic, doesn't have to be romantic. And the courage comes in standing your ground and saying no and doing whatever you have to do to protect your space, to stay gone or to stay in your own power, basically. And so that's when it gets dicey, because a lot of times it's like it becomes really someone just giving us a break. Let me backtrack. Okay, so say there's been a row and there's this clearing and there's been a couple weeks where you don't talk, and it feels like, well, we had a fight and this and that, or we had a situation and I'm not but then that old dynamic kicks in and you start to get kind of anxious, you start to feel restless or unsettled, because it's about that time when this dynamic would kick in and they'd either initiate or you would, and then you do the dance, and eventually, and it's almost like this feels like that window of time where it's about ready for this person to reassert themselves or put themselves in your life somehow, reintegrate or reach out. And it's almost like you're stressed out, like, no, I don't want it to end yet. I'm liking where I'm at. I don't want to be bothered. Because you feel like if they do, you'll be compelled to go back or to participate in that old dynamic again. So it's almost like you're like, no, not yet. I want more time. You get to take all the time you need. It's done. And if it's not done, you get to decide it's done. So I feel like I need to say that, because it feels like you're going to feel like you need to go back just because they reached back out, or you're going to need to, and this could very well be family, like that obligation you feel towards family, even though you're just like, I'm so over my brother being like this, or my cousin or whatever, because family, there's a lot of concessions made. And this is saying you don't have to do that. You get to say no and mean it. So you insulate yourself. You do whatever you have to do to stay in the no area and to stay disappeared and stay removed. And you be strategic and you protect yourself and you maneuver, because this is someone that got a lot of value out of you being around. And that has to end, because you have got to be able to take care of yourself And you've known for a while it's time to let go of this whatever situation it was. So you have nothing to feel guilty or bad about. This has run its course. It is time. You weren't getting what you needed from it. Everybody else was, but you weren't. So, and if you are going to exhaust yourself like that, you better get paid for it. So I'm really glad that you're, at work, you're working like the Dickens and you're being compensated for it, as you should be. Thank you for your service if you're a first responder or essential worker, key worker. Thank you. That's for Virgo. I don't mean to belabor earlier. I know what this feels like. It's like, well, you have the huff and oh gosh, and it's almost like a relief. I don't have to deal with that for a while, or I'm so done. And then all of a sudden you start getting kind of that restless antsiness because this is about the time when either they reach out or I'm supposed to reach out and I don't want to. You don't have to. You can let go. What else for Virgo? 8 of Cups reversed. 2 of Cups. Yeah, there's that hanging on still. There's that whole, you're free from it, but you might feel like you don't have any direction yet. Maybe it's in the beginning stages. Maybe this breakup or this just happened. That's okay. It takes time. It takes time to find your footing. This is showing that you're still very much thinking about it, but you're still very much invested in staying away, as you should be. It's going to take time. You be patient with yourself and get off your own back. This is baby steps forward. This is liking where you're at now and looking to the future and looking forward. Being very content with everything else in your life. For the Virgos I'm reading for, this feels like wherever you lay your head at night, you feel like you can rest. Like you feel like that part of your life, like, oh, I got that where I want it to be and I'm okay with my work output. But whatever this situation is, romantic or family, you're wanting to stay gone. And it's going to be a learning curve on how to put up those boundaries and do that. I have to remember this is not a monthly reading. So this is about not quite having the direction yet, feeling still stuck maybe, or feeling like, oh, I don't know how to move on, but I know I don't want to go back. I just don't know what to do from here forward. It's a learning curve, letting go. All right. Okay, Virgo, you stay strong and you do you. This is a good week otherwise. There's just a lot of mental energy dealing with this person and kind of dreading the return or feeling like they're going to come back, and you don't have to do anything. You get to just keep working and think about this and be at peace. Okay. I hope this was helpful. Please don't beat yourself up. I hope to see you in the next reading. You have yourself a good week. Much love and support to you. Take care.